This is one of those videos that I wasn't actually planning on making. I had a decently cool Outer Worlds video that was going to come out today, but that'll probably come out tomorrow now. Really, the reason I'm making this one is almost out of necessity. You might have recently heard a couple of things. First and foremost, that there was a ban wave for Fallout 76. I made a full video on this, quite a few of you did watch it, and that is true. Bethesda did confirm this, but one of the other stories to pop out of this is actually how one player who had 900 hours played actually ended up getting caught in this ban wave. And to be frank, looking at a lot of the reporting, look at some of the other videos on this, I feel like it wasn't necessarily fair. And even more specifically, if you go on the official Fallout 76 subreddit, which is made even almost more official because of how active Bethesda employees are on it, you get a totally different narrative. Many people making memes or jokes about how they think this guy is totally lying, yet it's getting so much coverage. In this video, what I really want to do is look at both sides of this and almost bridge the gap, trying to remain as objective as possible and just show you the actual facts of what happened and what didn't. Because again, I feel like a lot of these other stories are either emphasizing one side too much or not emphasizing the other nearly enough. So to start this video off, let's just start out with the pure facts, what we know 100% about this situation. Over this past Saturday or Sunday, Bethesda began a ban wave for Fallout 76. I personally feel this was handled pretty poorly, there wasn't a lot of communication around it, but around that time, users started to discover, hey, I can't log into the game. It seems like this ban wave may have gone in waves because it didn't hit everyone at once. Over the weekend, there were some reports, but then come Monday, you started getting quite an influx of additional reports. Right before this all happened, there was actually a post on the official Fallout 76 subreddit, the one I was talking about previously, and it got quite highly upvoted. It is the second most highly upvoted post of the past week. It was from somebody who had played the game apparently for 900 hours and was sharing some of the tips he has found around farming items. This was received quite positively, it got a lot of upvotes, and even some official Bethesda staff were responding to it. But then the very next day, he actually makes another post saying that he was actually banned in this most recent ban wave. And in this, he was actually professing his innocence, saying he never did any duping glitches or anything along those lines. This follow-up post got quite a bit more attention, actually 13,000 additional upvotes compared to the original post, and it was really at this point where people started covering this and talking about it, both on the subreddit itself and even on a wider scale. A lot of actually fairly mainstream websites started picking this up, probably something to do with disliking Fallout 76, that is a very trendy topic nowadays. But even further, a lot of YouTubers did pick up this story, with those videos getting hundreds of thousands of views cumulatively. And that's what kind of led me to this video again, because even some of these videos, like, focused more on the 900 hours component, like how could someone bear through Fallout 76 for 900 hours, which I think to an extent is missing the point of this post and some of the reactions to it, or whether or not it's true or false. But there's really two key components that make this a story, if you even want to call it that. First and foremost, it was hilarious that if you sort by the top posts on the subreddit of the past week, these are the two posts that pop up. But even further, somebody playing this game for 900 hours is no joke, but we'll get back into that in a second. So this guy did report he was banned. He showed proof via email, and as far as the methodology of these bans, effectively Bethesda was banning accounts that got over 100,000 of a rare item over a 30-day period. And based off some of the other ban reports, it doesn't seem like that means you had just 100,000 of this item at one given time, but rather you might have gotten some ammo, used some ammo, then gotten some more ammo, and if all of that ammo did add up to 100,000, then Bethesda was flagging your account. This under the guise that the only way you could get 100,000 of one of these rare items is by duping. So initially there was only this email to go off of, and there's a lot of speculation as to what rare items we're even referring to, but then later he followed it up with this email showing that he had quite a bit of ammo on him. This email lists how on his main account he had 140,000 rounds of ultrasight ammo, and on a second account he had hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of rounds of all kinds of different ammo. And also with these bans, as it does say in the emails, they're not permanent bans. These users are only temporarily banned until this is patched in a future update. They don't say when that is or even give an ETA though, so it could be weeks away, it could be days away, or even months away. But also, they're not considering any appeals on these bans, as they also say in the email. So it is definitely a temp ban, but there's also no recourse. So those are all of the facts around the situation, as long as we assume he's not fabricating these emails, which I guess is potentially true, I just doubt that. But following this, you do again have two sides. People that believe him and support him, he proclaiming that he never duped or did anything illegitimately, he just played the game a lot. And that's how he acquired all of those items. And then of course the other side saying, there's no way you did this, you must have done something illegitimate, probably duping, in order to acquire that many rounds of ammo. and potentially he didn't even play the game that much. So first, let's actually look at his side of the story. One of the main things he argues is he never actually held all that much ammo at one given time, but rather saying that he normally trades ammo back and forth in between his main and secondary account when he's deciding which weapon he wants to use as his primary weapon. And he further speculates that Bethesda's not actually detecting where you got the ammo from or the original source of it, but rather just that you acquired a ton of ammo. So effectively, he's saying the reason those numbers are so high is because he was trading ammo in between his characters over that 30-day period. He still had a lot of ammo through natural means, through crafting, things like that, but not nearly the level of ammo reported in these posts. But rather, when the system sees you trading ammo from one character to another and then maybe back to that original character, it's not realizing it's the same stack of ammo. So let's say it's 10,000 rounds, that's now going to be counted as potentially 30,000 rounds. I want to reinforce the idea this is again over a 30-day period, so there could have been several different instances while he was trading ammo back and forth between these various characters. It's not like this all happened over a 24-hour period, but again, he attests that he never had stack sizes even close to the numbers reported in the email. Something else fairly interesting about the situation, the guy that was banned actually reached out to me shortly after he was banned when some other people started covering it and I was covering the other bans. He actually sent me the full email chain he had with Bethesda, and the first time he emailed them was on the 17th. Something interesting about this ban wave, it wasn't entirely clear it was a ban wave at first. You'll know that if you watch my other video. It was just over this past weekend, people started getting the error code login failed, this account is not authorized. There's no ban emails or anything like that. So for a couple of days, this guy actually had a back and forth with Bethesda support before actually being alerted to the fact that he was even banned at all. In that, basically just talking about how he's an extremely active player and misses playing the game because he plays it all the time. Although as it stands right now, he's obviously still not unbanned and has created a new ticket with Bethesda, but has not yet received a response. But then came the other side of the aisle, people doubting this and the legitimacy of it. One of the main counter arguments I've been seeing is as far as actually playing the game for 900 hours. I feel like for me, I just kind of took it, I was like, yeah, that sounds like a lot, but it definitely sounds plausible. The game has been almost out for 4 months now, including the beta time. But if you actually do the math as to how many hours per day that means as far as game time goes, it roughly translates to 9 hours per day since the release date of this game. You can make that number slightly lower if you actually include all of the beta time. You also might assume that some of those hours he's not playing but has the game open, but effectively this guy's claiming that he played Fallout 76 for 900 hours when the game's only been out for roughly 2,300 hours in total. Now this certainly is doable. There's another person on the Fallout 76 subreddit that has shown his in-game playtime. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if quite a bit of that is just alt-tabbed with the game open. We can't really get the 900 hours guy to verify his playtime in the same method because he's banned. He can't log in at all. There are other arguments saying that he actually created his original post to actually create an alibi for himself and get support because at that point he was actually already banned, which is true. He didn't know he was banned yet. He was never alerted to Bethesda, but based on the email chain he forwarded me, he did not have access to his account when this post was created. But again, there was a lot of people that didn't have access to their account, and a lot of people talking about this, they didn't realize they were banned yet. They just thought it was some kind of glitch or error on Bethesda's side. But really, that's kind of the story here. I think a lot of people are just taking the Occam's razor approach and saying, well, what's more likely? That this guy played one for 900 hours, but then even further somehow accumulated all this ammo, trading it between accounts over that time, or that he just duped. Duping has been widespread and not super difficult to do in Fallout 76, and many players that even just enjoy the game for legitimate reasons have done it because it makes the game a little bit easier or even more fun in some instances, although many of those players are now getting banned. I don't think there's really a clear-cut answer. Hopefully now you reached a conclusion. I kind of laid out everything, laid out the two major arguments. I still subscribe to the belief that there's got to be false positives with this system like there are with every system. Could this guy have actually triggered it by trading ammo back and forth in between alternate accounts? That seems pretty plausible to me, especially considering it's Bethesda. They've detailed in the past how they can't track items or even restore items to people's characters. With that in mind, it doesn't sound that far-fetched that this could have happened to somebody. But at the same time, there's also the very easy explanation of, yeah, he was just a duper. But if that is true, and you can get your account flagged and subsequently banned just for trading the same stack of, let's say, 10 to 20,000 ammo back and forth between characters or even friends, you have to imagine there's a lot of other false positives out there that many people might have been banned by this system for the wrong reasons. I think Bethesda that looking more closely at that, or potentially even just giving a response on that, would be warranted. So I don't know with this one. I wanted to make this video again because I feel like a lot of the other places I'm seeing this aren't giving all the facts around this. It's either on the Fallout 76 subreddit where people are just making a meme out of it, he's a liar, there's no way this could be true. Or some of the other media outlets where he's not a liar and this guy actually played the game for 900 hours and got banned. So to be honest, who knows at this point? I'm honestly surprised this story's getting as much attention as it is. It seems rather odd. But at the same time, hopefully this video served to clear things up at least somewhat, and hopefully you just enjoyed it. As always, again, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.